Hey there, everybody. Thought I would chime in with a Demolition League game just to show you that this project has not died by any means. It just got put to the shelf a little bit, but I've got some time this afternoon, and so I figured why not go ahead and throw a game out. When you got nothing else going on, Strat is a good filler. All right, we are at game 42. This will be the 9th game for each of these teams. Oakland's 5-3, Miami is 1-7. And we have Alex Wood on the mound for the Oakland A's and Ryan Weathers on the mound for Miami. Two left-handed pitchers. There you see his starting lineups. Ballpark effects for Miami. Singles 1-16 left, 1-13 right. Homers 1-11 left and 1-5 right-handed. Weathers is 0-1. Wood is 1-0. There you see the starting lineups for both teams. And we are about ready to get this one underway. Max Schumann will lead off for Oakland. I do have the game up on the computer, so we can score it as we play it. Schumann's hitting .333 on the replay and 18 at-bats. No homers or runs driven in. Real world, Schumann hit .220, so he's definitely doing well, but only, limited at-bats, 18 at-bats, so take that with a grain of salt. Here's the first pitch of the game, 2-6, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field by Schumann. And that will be handled out there by Jazz Chisholm in center field. One down. One moment, I got to take this call. Okay, apologize for that. We're back. Max Schumann flies to center, one away, and here is Miguel Andujar. Andujar's in left field. On the replay, he is hitting .415 at-bats. Of course, everything's early. So 6-5, it's going to be a ground ball shortstop X, and we're looking at the shortstop. In this case, that is Tim Anderson. He's a 3E24. 3-13, he will get to that. 3-13 is a G2. And that is a total of 12, and he is an E24. So E24, there's no 12, so Tim Anderson will make the play. And Andujar is retired 6-3. So 2 up and 2 down, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Shea Langoliers. And Langoliers on the replay is hitting .105 and just 19 at-bats, no homers or 2 driven in. Obviously, still very early, of course. 2-9, and that's going to be a strikeout, so Langoliers continues to struggle. And Ryan Weathers goes a 1-2-3 first inning here in Miami. Go to the bottom of the first. It is the A's nothing, and the Marlins coming to bat. And left-hander Alex Wood on the mound. We'll be facing second baseman Luis Arias to lead things off. Arias is hitting .294 in 34 at-bats on the replay. He hit .314 real world before he was traded to San Diego. 5-10, lefty on lefty, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We are looking at Allen. He's a 1E36, so we know he's going to get to it with a 1. It's the E36 that's the issue. So on E36, he has to avoid 13, 15, 16, and 17. And that is a 12, so he barely does it, but he does it nonetheless, and it's a 6-3 ground out. One away, and that will send up Otto Lopez, the designated hitter in this one. Otto Lopez. Lopez is hitting .429, but he's 3 out of 7, I should say. So, very, very early. 6-3 for Wood. That's a ballpark blast, and it's only 1-5 though. But the Devil Die chimes in early, but he has weak power against lefties, so it will only be a single. So Lopez will get the single. Will not get the homer, but he will get the single. One of the a little bit weird where he's a righty, but he's weak against lefties, but normal against righties, just the way it goes. But he does have a good chance to get a lead. 5 or a 6 will get him the lead. Wood is a 0 hold, and Langoliers is -2, so it'll be a -2 for the pitcher-catcher hold interface. Does not get the lead, so it doesn't matter. Lopez will hold, and here is Brian De La Cruz. He's hitting .241 on the replay, but he has 3 homers and 6 runs driven in. That's the big thing. In just 29 at-bats, he's got 3 home runs already. 3-4, but this is going to be a fly ball to right, and that's out number 2. And that'll bring up first baseman Josh Bell. Bell on the replay is hitting .267 in 30 at-bats. No homers, 2 driven in. Nothing on the havoc for Lopez. 4-4, switch hitter batting right-handed. Is a ground ball third base X. And for the A's, that's Hernandez. He is a 3E15. 3 and an E15. 3 and a 10. He will get there all day long. E15 and an 8 for a third baseman. There is no 8 there, so Hernandez will make the play. And the Marlins are gone in the first. So after 1 complete from Miami, we have no score. A's and Marlins. Not exactly the marquee matchup, but it's on the schedule. So play them as they come on the schedule. That's all you can do. So we go to the top of the second. And sometimes the lesser teams will put on a better game. You never know. And Brent Rooker, the designated hitter, steps to the plate. He's hitting .258. 1 homer and 2 driven in. 3-7, and that's another strikeout for Weathers, his second of the game. And that'll bring up Tyler Nevin. He is going to play in right field today. He's played first, third, and now also the corner outfielders. Nevin hitting .167. He just 1 out of 6. So, but that 1 hit was a double. 2-6, and he's going to strike out again. So 3 strikeouts in a row for Weathers going back to last inning. And the A's are swinging at air. Here's former Met J.D. Davis. He's getting a chance against the lefty on the mound. He's hitting .077 in 13 at-bats. I believe that's 1 out of 13. And no homers or runs driven in. 6-10, I got to check the injury on Weathers. I forgot to write down the injury factor for Weathers. Let me get the roster here. That was the one thing I did forget to write in for Weathers for Miami. He's a 5. And so on the 5 injury chance, I believe that's a 6-8 or 6-9. Let me take a look here. It's either 6-8 or 6-9. Got to be one of the 2. All right, so we said Weathers was a 5, and a 5 translates to a 6-8. So 6-8 is the injury chance, not 6-10, so he's okay. I need to write that in there, 6-8. And I'll do Wood real quick. Alex Wood for Oakland. Let's see, Oakland. Wood's in the extra pitchers, additional pitchers. Wood is a 6, and a 6 is a 6-7. So Wood at 6-7 is his injury chance. Is 6-7. It's his injury chance. All right, so 6-10 is not a problem. Go to Weather, 6-10, ground ball third base X. That's going to be Berger. He's a 4E32. 4-12 should be okay. 4 and a 12 is a G3, so that's fine. And let's see, that's a total of 11. He's an E32. There's an 11 right here for an error, so Berger's going to boot it. E5 on Berger. And the inning will continue. Davis not going to be held. Does not run well at all. And Darrell Hernandez, the third baseman, will be up for the A's. He's hitting .200. He's 2 out of 10. No homers or runs batted in. Nothing on the havoc. Hernandez. 1-5 against the lefty. He will fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score from Miami. And due up for the Marlins will be Jake Berger. He just made that error, but it didn't come back to hurt him. Berger, first base and third base, playing third base in this one. Berger hitting 130 at bats, 3 out of 30. No homers or runs batted in. 6-3 is a ballpark blast. It's a 1-5, but that's an 11, so it'll be a deep drive to left and just a long out for Berger. So 1 away, and that brings us to Avisail Garcia. Doesn't get to play much. Hello, P. Madehoff. I'm not sure exactly how that's pronounced, but hello to you. Good afternoon to you. That's an unusual time for me to play. I just got some time to kill before I have to go to my meeting tonight, so I figured got a couple hours that nothing's going on, so I figured why not sneak in a game of Demolition League since I'm not going to be home tonight to do it. So that's the reason why we're playing at this unusual time. So Avisail Garcia, he only had in real world, he had 50 at bats, and that was it. He played early in the season, then I guess he got released or whatever. But in the replays, 1 for 4, 250. That one hit was a double. 2-6, and that's a strikeout. First strikeout for Alex Wood. And Garcia is out of there. 2 down for the shortstop, Tim Anderson, longtime Chicago White Sox shortstop. On the replays, hitting 211 and 19 at bats. No homers or runs driven in. That's a 6-7, and that's going to be a base on balls. First walk issued by Alex Wood. And for Mr. Anderson, Wood's a -2, so it wouldn't give him a very good chance to steal. So they're going to hold him there, and they're going to let Jazz Chisholm hit. Chisholm, the center fielder, hitting 250, 3 out of 12. No homers or runs batted in. I'm sorry, that I got something in my lineup here didn't get straight. So I'll have to fix. You know what? On the computer, I got it backwards, so I'm going to have to fix this later. I have Chisholm batting 8th, and the computer I have the Betancourt batting 8th and Chisholm batting 9th. So we're going to go let Chisholm hit. 5-3. That's a fly ball left field X. Left field is Andujar. He's a 4-E5. 4 and a 6. That could be problems. 4 and a 6. 4 and a 6 is a single 2 stars. That'll put runners at the corners, assuming there is no error. That's a 14, so that's a big assumption. Andujar's an E5. And that's a 14 sitting right here. How do you like that? Andujar is going to make a 2-base error on top of it. Andujar E5, and that's a 14. E5, that's a 14. It's a 2-base error on Andujar. So Chisholm will take third on the E7, and coming around to score is Anderson. No RBI given, of course. So I'm going to have to redo this in the computer and not worry about it from here on out because I've got my lineup screwed up, but the one on the score sheet is correct, not the one on the computer. So I'm going to need to exit out of that and just get the stats from the Stratomatic computer main team page. So we go to Betancourt for Miami. It's his turn to bat, and we'll look at his stats. Betancourt on the replay is hitting 250. He's 3 out of 12. No homers or runs batted in. Chisholm's at third with 2 outs and 1 in. Marlins lead at 1-0. That's a 1. Alex Wood, though, has no wild pitch ratings, or 0 wild pitch rating, I should say. Here's Betancourt, 5-8, and that's a strikeout for Wood, so he gets out of the inning without any further damage. But it's an unearned run coming across, courtesy of the 2-base error by Miguel Andujar, former Yankee. Go to the third, and it's 1-0 Miami. From, I think it's called Lone Depot Park nowadays. I'm not really sure what they call it these days. They call it a lot of things. Hard to say sometimes what they call it. All right, so we are going to the top of the third. Weather's back out. His fatigue is a 5. Same with, and Woods is only a 4. So, like I said, when you deal with modern baseball, pitchers don't pitch very long. It's not like 1987 when I'm doing that replay and the pitchers go 7 or 8 innings. This is not the case. Here's J.J. Bleday, center fielder for Oakland, and he will step to the plate leading off. He's hitting 115, 3 out of 26. 2 of the 3 hits are extra bases. He got a double and a triple and 1 run batted in, but 3 out of 26 is rather abysmal. Lefty on lefty, 6'10", and we say Weather's injury is 6'8", so 6'10 is fine. 6'10 lefty is a ground ball third base X, so we're looking at Berger again. He already made 1 error. He's trying to avoid doing the same. That's an 11, and he's a 4, so that should not be a problem. 4 and 11 will not be a problem. That's a 15. He's an E32, third baseman. There's a 15. That's a 2-base error. He makes errors on 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So 15 is a 2-base error on Berger. That's his second error of the game on Berger. Jake Berger is having a rough time of it. A 2-base error, and that'll put Bleday. Oh, Kathy, I haven't even started yet. We had some rain yesterday, and it's overcast today. I will probably start either tomorrow or Wednesday doing the first round, and then I'll be out there doing those. So a little bit wet and nasty to be doing them now. I don't want to. It's gonna be, they're just gonna be really heavy, and it's gonna break the trash bag. So I'm not even gonna try it. Might get out there tomorrow, but it's supposed to be breezy tomorrow, and of course, trying to rake leaves in a breeze is not a good idea. So we're gonna be looking probably on Wednesday. I got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It gives me 3 days to take a big chunk out of it. And of course, what will happen is 2 days later, it'll look like I never did anything. But there's so many of them, you got to do them in waves, or else if I wait till the end, like I used to do when I was working full time, I'd wait till the Thanksgiving Day weekend. And it was I almost had to go in traction. I was working so hard and doing so much lifting and whatnot and bending. And I'd rather do it now that I'm home. I'd rather do it a little bit at a time, weather permitting. All right, so here's Nick Allen, shortstop. He is, where is he at? He's hitting 143. He's 3 out of 21. No homers and a run batted in. Bleday at second, thanks to the 2-base error by Berger. That's a 1. So Weather's wild pitch is a 4. And it's no wild pitch. So here's Nick Allen. 3-7 for Allen. Ground ball to second. That'll get the runner to third base. Now in advance, that wouldn't happen because that was a B, but obviously in super advanced, when you hit to the right side, it does get the runner over. So now Max Schumann, the leadoff man, is up. The infield's going to come in for the Marlins. They don't want to give that cheap run. So Weather's pitching to Schumann, who flew out to center his first time up. Yes, I do. You have to have a battle plan. 3-5. It just can't go out there haphazard. You got to have a plan. 3-5. It's a strikeout. And to quote that great line from the movie Hunt for Red October, said, Russians don't take a dump without a plan. Well, I don't go out and rake leaves without a plan. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Andujar, however you want to pronounce it. 3-5, and that's a 1-12 single. Double die's a 4, so that's going to score the run and tie the game. Unearned run as Bleday comes in to score, and Andujar makes up for the 2-base error by getting a base hit. And we were tied at 1 apiece. Here is Shea Langoliers, catcher, struck out his first chance. 2-6, and he will strike out again. That is the 5th strikeout for Ryan Weathers. And we go to the bottom of the third. We're tied at 1. Don't forget, tomorrow morning is going to be Baltimore Orioles and California Angels from Baltimore, 1987 replay. Mike Witt against Scott McGregor. And then tomorrow night, season ticket baseball, Game 6 of the 1978 World Series from Los Angeles. It'll be Ron Guidry against Tommy John. All right, here's Wood to Arias. It's a 2-7, and that's a ground ball to short. And Allen will handle it. 1 away, and here's Otto Lopez, designated hitter. 3-6 for Lopez, and he strikes out. That is strikeout number 3 for Wood. And we'll bring up Brian De La Cruz. 5-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. We're looking at Schumann. 3E16 for Schumann. 3 and a 15 is good. We'll check the 7 there on the E16 for second base. There is no 7, so Schumann will make the play. And the Marlins go in order, 1, 2, 3. So at the end of 3 innings of play, we're tied at 1 apiece. From Miami. Ryan Weathers back out. Will face Brent Rooker, Tyler Nevin, and Darrell Hernandez in that order. 6-7 to Rooker and 6-8 is his injury chance, so he just missed it. 6-7 is a ground ball second base X. We're looking at the second baseman Arias. He's a 4E17. 4-3, Devil Die shows up in the worst way. That's going to be a base hit. 4-3 is a single. That's a 14, and he is an E17. And there's no 14. There's a 15 there, but no 14. So it won't be an error, but it will be a base hit by Rooker as he sneaks it right past Arias. 1 away, or 1 on, nobody out, and Tyler Nevin the batter. And trying to bunt in this league is futile because almost everybody's a D-rated bunter, so I just haven't even thought about doing that. Here's Tyler Nevin. 1-8, and that's a ground ball pitcher B, so it's just going to be a 1-4 fielder's choice. Unable to turn the double play, so Nevin is the new runner at first. He will not be held. He doesn't run very well. And here is former Met J.D. Davis. 3-6 for Davis. 1-4 is a single, but that's a 12. So it's ground ball second base C. That will get the runner to second base with 2 outs. So he is in scoring position. It is a clutch situation for Darrell Hernandez. First time up, he flew to right field, but in the clutch against lefties, he will gain a hit on 3-7. Everywhere else, he's neutral. 3-7. 1-7, and that's a strikeout. He just missed an injury. That is a strikeout. Strikeout number 6 on the season. On the game for Weathers, and that will end the inning. Kathy, what I'm thinking about doing is before I even start is taking a couple of photos of a before and after of the yard, so you can see what I got to deal with. Front yard and backyard, they're 2 separate entities. But right now, I'm just going to concentrate on the front yard because that's what people can see from the street. The backyard, nobody can see it unless you come to the back of the house. So I'm going to put all my efforts right now into the front yard, as well as the roof, because get the pine needles and stuff. I just cleaned off the roof the other day, and it's already looks like I haven't done anything because there's pine needles all over it again. All right, no leaves, just pine needles. It's got tons of pine trees, and they're a pain in the butt. All right, here is Josh Bell. 6'2", switch hitter, batting right-handed. Ground ball pitcher X. He's a 2E0, so Alex Wood being a 2 and an E0, he cannot make an error, but we're checking the range on the 2. And as long as we get a 3 or higher, he'll make the play. Oh, we got gutter guards, so I'm not worried about that. Let's see, 2. As long as he gets a 1 or a 3 or higher, he's okay. And it barely. With not much to spare there, but he does make the play, does Wood. And there's Wood away. Here is Jake Berger. That's a 2-6 for Berger against the lefty, and that's going to be a base hit. 1-8's a double. 19 will make it just a solid single. But Berger trying to make up for those 2 errors, and he gets on with 1 away. No threat to run, though. Will not be held. And here's Avisail Garcia, former longtime White Sox and Tiger. 6-6 for Wood. That's a solid double to center field. Don't know if Berger will want to try to score or not. He runs an 11, not being held as a 12. Blade in center, though, is a -2, so you're talking a 50-50 proposition. I think they're going to have to hold him here and hope that with only 1 out that Tim Anderson comes through with a base hit. You got 2 chances for a base hit, Anderson or Chisholm. So they're going to hold him there. Infield for the A's will come in with 1 out. They're going to bring the infield in. Anderson walked and scored his first time up. 6-6, and that's the same exact roll, another double, and it's a 2-run double for Tim Anderson. And the 6-6, 1 short of the devilish 6-6-6, and Alex Wood is feeling the pain of that. That's a 2-run double, and it's 3-1 Marlins. Here's Jazz Chisholm. 6-6 again. It's another double. This one to right field. That's 3 times in a row I've rolled 6-6. Should I even allow that? In the past, I would not have allowed that. But the dice are the dice. So in the past, I would have. I don't do rolls that are exactly the same. If it comes up twice in a row like that, I re-rolled it. This is 3 times in a row we come up with a 6-6. And we got 3 doubles out of it. 2 to center and now 1 to right. Here's Betancourt. .510. This is a ground ball shortstop X. Allen's a 1E36. 1 and a 14 is a G1, so the runner will have to hold on the G1, and that's an 8, and he is an E36. There is no 8, so runner will hold at second base, 2 down, as Betancourt is retired. And here's Arias in a clutch situation. Arias against the lefty gains a hit on 3-9 in the clutch. That's a 4-10, though, and that's going to be a catcher X. Catcher in this case is Langoliers. He's a 4E1. 4 and a 20, though, not going to be a problem. 4 and a 20 is a G2, and that's an 11, and he's an E1. That's not going to be a problem. So just a 2 to 3 ground out, but 3 runs come in for the Marlins on 3 consecutive doubles off the same 6-6 roll. So we go to the 5th. And by the way, that was the fatigue inning for Wood, so I think Wood is done. His fatigue was only a 4, so I think we're going to cap him at the 4 innings. He's going to give up 4 runs, 3 of them earned, because the 2-base error caused that one to come across. Let's see how many hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits he gave up. He walked 1, and that 1 walk scored, and he struck out 3. So the A's will go to their bullpen for the next inning. But right now, Weathers enjoying a 4-1 lead. This is his fatigue inning, number 5. He'll be facing Bleday, Allen, and Schumann in the top of the 5th. 4-1 Miami. 4-5, lefty is a strikeout for Weathers, his 7th strikeout. Marlins trying to win their 2nd game and drop Oakland to 5-4. Here's Nick Allen, 3-10. That's a pop out to second base. Arias is there. 2 down, and here comes Schumann. 5-12, and that's a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 3E0, so Weathers again can't make an error, but he is a 3, so we're checking to see what he can do. And it's a 1 to 3 will be a base hit. 4 or higher, he gets to it. And he gets to it, so that will end the inning. 1-2-3 inning. He will keep full endurance into the 6th, will Ryan Weathers. And they maintain a 4-1 lead. And now I've got to go to the Oakland statistics on the computer and see who is not overworked out of their bullpen. Most of their bullpen guys have pitched 3 games. Some have pitched 4. So we'll go with the people that have pitched only 3. And Austin Adams will be one of those guys. So Austin Adams will be coming on to pitch for the A's against the Marlins. And he will be facing Lopez, Cruz, and Bell. Real world 1-2, 3.92 ERA, and 41 innings pitching. On the replay for Austin Adams, he is 0-0 with no saves, a 2.25 earned run average, 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So again, very limited replay stats to go by. So it's almost not worth bringing them, but I figured I'd read them out anyway. Hello, Jeffrey. Good to see you again. Here's Otto Lopez against Austin Adams. That's a 2-10 for Lopez. A 1-4 is a single. That's a 2. Devil Die shows up again. It's a base hit. I have been haunted by the Devil Die in both Strat replays. It's my fate, it seems like. All right, here's De La Cruz. Lopez. Well, let's look at Adams' hold. He's a +2. Langoliers a -2. Makes him a 0. So if he gets the lead, it's going to be a 19. So they're going to go for the lead. 5 or a 6 gets him the lead. Does not get the lead. So Brian De La Cruz, who's 0 for 2, will step up. That's a 4-5 right-handed. That's a strikeout for Austin Adams, his first strikeout. 1 away, and Josh Bell, first baseman. He is 0 for 2. That's a 2-10 against the right-hander, and that's a 1-4 double or a 5-20 single. That's a single, 2 stars, puts runners at the corners. And the Marlins trying to defy their 1-7 record. They are coming out with the hitting shoes on. Here's Jake Berger, infield, looking for the double play. With first and third and 1 out. It's 2-7, and that's a strikeout, a big strikeout there for Adams. That's his second strikeout. And here is Avisail Garcia, the right fielder, in a clutch situation. In the clutch, he loses 2 hits on a 3-4 and a 3-10. Gets a 3-9, so he misses the 3-10, but the 3-9 is still going to be an out, a fly out to left to end the inning. And that's going to be it for Austin Adams. All these pitchers in 2024 in the bullpen, most of them only can go 1 inning before they get tired. So let's see here. We got 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. And we'll get a new pitcher for Oakland in the bottom of the 6th. In the meantime, Weathers, who has a fatigue of 5, pitched a 1-2-3/5, so he has full endurance into the 6th. And he's also enjoying a 4-1 lead. And here comes Miguel Andujar, former Yankee. That's a 2-7, and he's going to draw a base on balls. That is only the first walk from Ryan Weathers. That's his very first walk to go with 7 strikeouts. Here's Shea Langeliers, the catcher. Andujar not being held. 3-5 against a lefty, and that is a single to center. It's anti-clutch, but there are not 2 outs, and there's no runner in scoring position, so the single will be good. And now Weathers has to watch out. He's going to quickly hit fatigue very shortly. So the bullpen for the Marlins is now starting to stir. We look at the Miami bullpen and see most of their relievers, almost just pretty much all of their relievers have already pitched in 4 games. So it's definitely a well-worked bullpen. No question about it. So let's see who they're going to have here. They're going to loosen up. I guess it's Declan Cronin. Declan Cronin, something like that. I just think of REO Speedwagon because Kevin Cronin is the lead singer of REO Speedwagon. So every time I see that name, that's who I think of. All right, here's Brent Rooker, designated hitter. 1 swing of the bat, and the A's are right back in this game. 2-7, but a fly to center is not going to cut it. That's 1 away. Or Tyler Nevin. Weathers to Nevin. 6-6, and that's a 1-16 single. Base hit's going to load the bases, a 1-star single. And now Weathers is nearing fatigue. The bases are loaded for former Met J.D. Davis. Weathers, infield double play depth. It's a 3-8, and that's a walk. That's going to force in a run, and that's going to be it for Weathers. He is done. Weathers could not weather the 6th inning. He is out of there. And their bases remain loaded. And the Marlins will be bringing in their new pitcher, Declan Cronin, I guess you call him. 3-4, 4.35 ERA and no saves in 70 innings of pitching in the 24 season. On the replay for Cronin, he is 0-0 with no saves, a 5.79 earned run average, 4 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. That is what he has done to this point. Cronin, he's a +3, and Betancourt's a -2, so he's a +1 for his hold rating. Bases are loaded, 1 out for Hernandez. Question is, do the A's want to pinch hit for Hernandez? He's 0 for 2. He was playing mostly because the lefty was on the starting pitching mound. And let's see if they want to go to somebody else to play third base and pinch hit. We shall see. Let's see here. They're going to bring in Ryan Noda, a lefty, to pinch hit and play first base, and they'll move J.D. Davis to third base. So we're going to have Ryan Noda, pinch hitting. He will pinch hit in the 6th and play first base in the 6th, and J.D. Davis will go to third base. So Ryan Noda picks up a bat with the bases loaded. 1 in and 1 out, bases loaded. 4-2 ball game now. Noda on the replay. Let's get his numbers on the replay. Probably not very good because his numbers on the regular season weren't very good. In real world, he hit 137 in 95 at-bats. In the replay for Noda, he is hitting 111. He's 2 out of 18. But one of those hits was a double, and he does have 2 runs batted in. So bases loaded. Infield looking for the double play. Cronin to Noda, 4-4. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Anderson, 3E24. That 3 is a little iffy for a double play, especially with the double die. And like I said, there he is right there. Double die shows up again. 3 and a 5 is probably going to be a base hit. Actually, it's not. G3 pound, but nobody's being held, so the G3 is good. The run's going to score, but at least they get an out, possibly, as long as there's no error. That's a 9. And Anderson's an E24. There is no 9, so it's going to be a 6-3 ground out. The runner will score. Langoliers will score from third. Nevin will go from second to third. And going from first to second is J.D. Davis. It's 4-3 now. That run is charged to Weathers. And now J.J. Bleday comes up in a clutch situation. And he loses a hit on 1-6. And 2-12 and 2-2. So anti-clutch in a couple spots. See what Bleday can do. 1-6, and that's a single, but it's his anti-clutch roll. So the 1-6 is going to be taking away this single. It's going to turn to a pop out to second. And instead of giving Oakland the lead, he pops out in the anti-clutch. And Oakland will settle for 2 runs. So can close the book on Weathers now. He gives up 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And he went 5 1/3. He walked 1 and struck out 7. And he is in line to get the win if the bullpen can hold it. Cronin has a relief rating of 2, so he'll come back out for the next inning. Cool there. Good to hear that. I used to do that all the time when I was working in the office. I would listen to Uncle Ron or whoever was playing the game on my phone, my little earbuds, and try not to, and still had to put it on low so I could hear the phone and other people talking to me, but otherwise I tried to do what I could do. All right, so new Oakland pitcher, and it will be Danny Jimenez, a right-hander. He was 1-3 with a 4.91 ERA and a save in 26 innings of pitching in 2024. So Jimenez, we'll see what he's doing on the replay. Oh, there you go. Cool. Good deal. Now I was kind of restricted because I had to watch out for phone calls. So mostly emails, but there were phone calls coming in, and when they did come in, even if they weren't for me, I was on the overflow. So a lot of times I got stuck listening to the phone, catching the phone calls. So that's the office environment. That was back before I got laid off, before COVID. So all right, so Tim Anderson will step up against Jimenez, and on the replay for Jimenez, he hasn't done too well. He is 0-1 in 3 appearances, an ERA of 9. He's pitched 4 innings, given up 5 runs, 4 of them are earned. Given up 3 home runs in just 4 innings of pitching, 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. So he's been bit by the gopher ball quite a bit. So here's Anderson. That's a 2-4, And that's going to be a ballpark single check, which is a 1-13, but that's a 14. So that in turn will be a ground ball right back to Jimenez for out number 1. That brings up Jazz Chisholm, center fielder. Made a big error in real world in the playoffs against Toronto the other night while he's playing second base. He has singled and doubled in this game. 1-7, and he will ground to short, where Allen will make the play 2 down for Betancourt. 6-8, and that is a ground ball to short. I got to check and see if that's going to be an injury on Jimenez, though. With only 20-something innings, it's possible that could be an error check on him. I mean, an injury check. So Jimenez is a 5, and I believe a 5 is actually a 6-9. No, 5, look at this. 5, an injury rating on 5 is a 6-8, and that's what we got. So we're checking for an injury on Jimenez. A 1-6, he can stay in the game. 7 or higher, he's got to miss some time. That's a 20, boy. That's the worst thing he could have had. So he's going on the disabled list. This says the maximum here is 60 with an asterisk. But maximum injuries, 40 innings pitches, 30 games, 20. But he had a little bit left. So he's going to miss 10 games because I do everything by a third. So because I'm only playing 1/3 of a season. So Jimenez is going to miss 10 games. He will go on the injured list, and Oakland will have to, before the next series, call up somebody from the minors. So Jimenez will be out 10 games, which is a shame. He did pitch a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 6th, and I was planning on using him for a second inning because he hadn't given up anything. But now that he's injured, they will have to make other plans going forward for the next series. Yes, he's going to be out 10 games. All right, here is Cronin again. He will face Nick Allen, but we're in the 7th, so we could pinch hit if we want to. And Nick Allen is a great fielder, but a terrible hitter. 175. He is a 1E36 fielder, but it's a really bad hitter. We're in the 7th inning, so they might be looking to try to get something started to get their way back into the game. So Lawrence Butler will pinch hit for Nick Allen. And then we'll figure out if we're going to move Schumann. Schumann may go from second to short and have somebody else play second. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out. But right now, Lawrence Butler. We'll see if the Butler can do it. Butler will pinch hit here in the top of the 7th. And don't know about the defense situation until after the inning is over. So Butler, on the replay, Butler is hitting just 182. 2 homers, 2 runs driven in. He's 6 out of 33. On the real season, 262 with 22 home runs. So Butler against Cronin, 5-2. That's ground ball to second, and that's 1 away. So Butler did not do it. He couldn't get the job done. And we'll look at the defense for the A's going forward. And they're going to bring in, let's see here. They're going to bring in Abraham Toro to play second base and move Schumann to short. That's how they'll play that. Toro will now be in at second base in the 7th inning, where Toro is a 4E5. All right. So Toro will take over, and Schumann will move from second base, where he's a 3E16, to a shortstop, where he's 3E22. So here's Schumann, 410, and that's a strikeout for Cronin. That's his first strikeout. 2 down for Miguel Andujar. That's a 2-3, and that's a foul out to third base, and that's going to end the inning. So what we're going to do there is, with Andujar making the last out, Lawrence Butler will stay in the game to play in the outfield. I believe he will be a right fielder. And they will move Nevin from right field to left field. So Nevin's going to go to left field. Butler, pinch hitting for Allen, so it'll be Butler here, and he will be in right field. Will Butler. And the second baseman is going to be hitting an Andujar spot. And that's going to be Toro. So Toro will hit in this spot. It's a little bit confusing. I'm going to make sure I got my lineup straight now, because Butler's going to stay in the game to play right field. Going to left field is Nevin. Schumann goes to short. Toro goes to second base. And Noda is at first base. So, with all this confusion, like the Genesis song, Land of Confusion, well, Cronin goes an inning and 2/3, and he gives up nothing. He got everybody out with one strikeout. But that's it for Cronin. He did his job most definitely. So we look ahead now. We're going to have Langoliers catching, Rooker second in the order there. Then we'll have Nevin in left. We'll have Noda J.D. Davis at third, Noda at first, Lede in center, Butler will be in right, Schumann, and then Toro. Okay, now we got them. I just want to make sure I get everybody in the right order, because I don't have it on the computer right now to check it and do it. So we'll see how it plays out. Oakland will need a new pitcher since Jimenez got hurt. So Oakland will send in a new pitcher to face Arias, Lopez, and De La Cruz. A lefty and two righties. So most likely going to a right-hander, you would think. Let's see who they might want to go to. Well, actually, they're going to go to a lefty, I think. They're going to go to left-hander T.J. McFarland. So T.J. McFarland on the real season, 2-4, 3.81 ERA and no saves in 57 innings. So T.J. McFarland will be on for the A's. Left-hander, a +3 hold, so that makes him a +1. Still a 4-3 one-run game. So we go to the bottom of the seventh inning stretch, but we're just going to keep rolling. I don't have any coffee to warm up or anything like that, so we're just going to roll with it. McFarland on the replay is in his fourth appearance. He's pitched 3 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, no one-loss record, and 0 ERA. Lefty on lefty to Arias. 5-6, and that's going to be a fly ball to right field. And the new right fielder is Butler. I tell you, bring a new fielder in, the ball will find you, and it just did right there. Fly ball to right field. That's one away for Otto Lopez. 112 for McFarland to Lopez. Ground ball to short. It's going to be 2 away. And here's Brian De La Cruz. 6-12. We'll see if that's an injury chance on McFarland. They really can't afford to have too many injuries here to Oakland. Their bullpen's a little bit on the short side. So let's see. McFarland is a 0, so he cannot be injured. Fortunately for them, because 6-12 is a common injury. But in this case, 6-12 is a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 4E0. We can't make an error, but the 4 is a little bit troublesome. So we'll see what he needs on the double die. As a 4, not too bad. He just needs a 5 or higher. And the double die can't even cooperate with that. It's a base hit with a 1. I'm not going to belabor the point about how many times a 1 comes up. All right, so De La Cruz reaches on the base hit, infield hit off of McFarland. And here's Josh Bell. 3-6 for Bell, and that's a ground ball to short to end the inning. So McFarland might very well come out and pitch the 8th as well. He only gave up that 1 single, so they may go to him for another inning. We'll have to wait and see. For the A's, it'll be Langoliers, Rooker, and Nevin, all these righties. So the Marlins will go to a right-hander out of the pen, and they will go to Anthony Bender. right-hander, Anthony Bender. He was 5-2, 4.08 ERA in the save, and 53 innings of pitching. So Bender will be on. Still 4-3. Bender is a +4 though, so that's going to make him a +2 with the -2 from Betancourt. So it's Langoliers, Rooker, and Nevin due up for the A's here in the top of the 8th against Anthony Bender. And I'm starting to lose some of the peripherals, so I need to bring this over a little bit more, I think. All right. Bender to Langoliers, 6-4 for Bender. 6-4 is a ground ball shortstop X. So we are looking at the shortstop Anderson, the 3E24. 3 and a 9 should be okay. 3 and a 9 is a G3. That's good enough. That is a 12, and he is an E24. There's no 12 there, so Anderson will make the play. 1 away, and Bender retires Langoliers. Brings up Brent Rooker, the designated hitter. 4-7, and that's a strikeout for Bender. 2 down. And that'll take us to Tyler Nevin. 5-8, and that is a 1 for a double, but the 20 there is a fly to left. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Bender. And he may try to finish this out, or they might turn it over to their closer, Scott. We'll have to wait and see what happens at the bottom of the inning. But Bender does his job for sure. McFarland's going to come back out. He'll be facing Berger, Garcia, and Anderson for the Marlins. Here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-4 for Berger is a strikeout. So McFarland gets his first strikeout. That brings up Avisail Garcia. 5-8, and that's a ground ball to third. And that's going to be handled by J.D. Davis, who is now at third base. And here's Tim Anderson. 3-4 against the lefty, and that's a ground ball to second. Toro is there, and the inning's over. Toro. So McFarland will go 2 innings, and he will give up a hit, no runs, and he got a strikeout. So we go to the top of the 9th, last chance for the Oakland A's. Scheduled hitters, J.D. Davis, Ryan Noda, and J.J. Bleday are the scheduled hitters. 2 of those are left-handed, so the Marlins will be turning to their closer, Tanner Scott. He will later get traded to San Diego. But with Miami and San Diego together, I guess, he's 9-6, 1.75 ERA, and 22 saves. So Tanner Scott, the left-hander, will be coming on. And we'll get the numbers on Bender. He went 1 inning and gave up nothing with a strikeout. And Tanner Scott is a 0 hold, so that makes him a -2. And let's see, Scott on the replay. Let's get his replay numbers. See how he's doing. Scott is 1-0. He got the only win of the Marlins on the Marlins staff. He's 1-0, no saves. 5.06 earned run average. He's pitched in 4 games. He's pitched 5 1/3 innings, given up 10 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. So lots of runs and there are lots of strikeouts for Mr. Scott. Actually, Scott is 2 runs and 2 walks and 4 strikeouts, not 9 strikeouts, 4 strikeouts. All right, here's J.D. Davis to start the top of the 9th. 4-3 Miami. They're trying to hold on and get their second win in the Demolition League, improve to 2-7, drop Oakland to 5-4. That is a 1-6 for J.D. against the lefty, struck him out. Tanner Scott with the strikeout. Here's Noda. They will pinch hit for Noda because he just doesn't hit lefties very well at all. Only faced him 16% of the time. And they'll figure out first base later. But actually, they don't have anybody left. The only guy left on the bench is a left-handed hitting catcher, McCann, so it looks like Noda's going to have to stay in there. McCann, the backup catcher, left-handed hitter, is all they got left, so they're going to stick with Noda because at least he has power. That's a 2-8, and that's a pop-up to short. That's 2 away. And it's all down to J.J. Bleday. At column 1, he does have a homer there against the lefties. But it's a 3-7 instead, and he strikes out. So how about that? The Miami Marlins hang on and defeat the Oakland A's by the score of 4-3. So, as I said, sometimes the marquee matchups, the ones that aren't marquee matchups like this one should have been a dud. It actually was a pretty decent game, 4-3. And the Marlins improved to 2-7. Oakland drops to 5-4. Tanner Scott with his first save as he goes 1 inning, strikes out 2, doesn't give up anything. So for the Marlins, they got 4 runs on 9 hits. And the Marlins made 2 errors, both of them by Berger. 2 E5s there, so 2 errors for them. The A's made just the 1 error, a 2-base error by Andujar for their error. And the A's managed to scratch out only 4 hits. We double check that, but I think I've only got them for 4 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it, just 4 hits. So 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for Miami. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for Oakland. The winning pitcher is Ryan Weathers. He will improve to 1-1. Scott, his first save. The losing pitcher, Alex Wood, and he drops also to 1-1. So that will complete game number 43. And the next game's on the schedule in the Demolition League. I'm not sure when I'm going to play it, but next one that's actually scheduled. Let me get the schedule here. The wrong button. Let me get the schedule. Next game scheduled is San Diego and Pittsburgh from Pittsburgh. So we'll be in Pittsburgh to see San Diego take on Pittsburgh Pirates. That'll be game 43 in the replay. So game 42 is in the books. The Marlins, call it an upset if you want. They're now 2-7. And the Oakland A's dropped to 5-3. So in the standings, I think 2-7. They're still alone in last place. They are. The Yankees are 3-6. And the Marlins are now 2-7. Oakland with the loss drops to 5-4. They fall behind San Diego. They're now 2 games in back of the Dodgers, who are 7-2. So, thank you for spending part of your Monday afternoon with me. This was kind of, like I said, an impromptu game. I wasn't planning it. It just happened, and I decided to get it in. And it actually worked out to be a pretty decent game. So, one thing for sure, I got to go on the computer after I put this into the computer, the game itself in the computer. I've got to go in and put Jimenez on the injured list and go to the minor leagues for the Oakland A's and get another relief pitcher because Jimenez is going to miss 10 games. Big blow there, as the A's, who are already shorthanded in their bullpen, now really have to go and try to get some dudes out of the minors that can get some outs. So that's going to do it from here. Next game on the channel will be tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, and we will be in Baltimore. It'll be the California Angels taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Mike Witt against Scott McGregor. That's in the 1987 American League replay. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.